Hello there everybody and welcome back to Harvest Moon Save the Homeland. This is officially our start of our new Game Plus playthrough. Your second time through the game, you'll start on the second day of spring, which means that you don't have to listen to the Harvest Goddess and the Harvest Sprites give their tutorial. So you are able to just start right away and get right onto the gameplay. And as you can see here, everything is pretty much exactly the same as it was when we left off. We still have our upgraded house, our dog, all of our chickens. The horse and the cow should be in the barn. And all of our view totals will be the same as well, so we'll still have all the money that we had last playthrough. All of our items will remain intact, and all of the crops that you have planted will also be intact as well. So off screen, I went ahead and I cut down on my crops significantly. I decided that I only really wanted 4 of each plant. That way I wouldn't have to spend all day watering, but I would still be able to have the plants to make a little bit of profit and to use for cooking and whatnot. So I may decide later on that I want to plant more. I did go and buy seeds, and I haven't planted any potatoes yet, so we're gonna stick with this for now, but it is subject to change. So any crops that you've planted should be exactly as you left them, and the good thing about this game is that all the crops available to you grow in every season. So if you quit the game in fall, for example, and you have crops growing, those same crops will be able to survive in spring, so you really don't have to worry about replanting, which is really nice. So I'll go check up on the barn animals and bring them outside, because it's a nice sunny day. Additionally, all of your animals' friendship levels should remain, so my cow here should be giving me large milk as it did when I ended the game. I should still be able to ride the horse. He should be able to run. And the same with the chickens. The ones that were giving me golden eggs last time will still be eligible to give me golden eggs. So we are starting off on a much better note than we had started the original game with, because we already have all of our progress brought over to us. All the food in my fridge should also be there. I haven't checked, but I'm assuming that everything that I have in storage will also stay in storage. The only big thing to keep in mind when you start New Game Plus is that all of your friendship levels will be automatically reset. So we were really good friends with Lila, with Parsley, and with Lewis because we were doing their event path, but their friendship levels, along with everybody else in the villages, is down back to square one. So this will enable us to make a whole new group of friends depending on what sort of ending we want to go for this time. Parsley has returned to the village. He had left after we had planted the blue flower, but he's back, and he doesn't know us at all. He doesn't have any sort of friendship with us, but if we want to refriend him, we can do that. And because it's spring, of course, we're going to be seeing all of the spring stuff that we can forage. So we're not going to be able to pick up pink cat flowers, and we're not going to be able to pick up walnuts or cranberries, but we can pick up the mist flowers, the weeds, and some of the other things that grow in all of the seasons. Nick! Hey look, it's the Harvest Sprites again. So if we want to, this is totally optional, you can come to the Harvest Lake, and they will give you this whole tutorial again. He's just gonna teach us about talking to the harvest goddess by throwing gifts into the pond. So we get to skip most of the tutorial, but I guess that they will teach you this again, in case you've forgotten. I don't talk to the goddess much, to be honest, so I don't use this feature a whole lot. But maybe I should. She does do a couple of useful things. At times. And she is useful for certain event paths as well, which I haven't really talked about because she hasn't really helped us much so far. So we might see a little bit more of her this time around if I can remember to visit her a little bit more often. Thanks, sprites. Appreciate all your help, and the goddess too, I guess. But I think by this point I've kind of got this whole saving the valley thing figured out. I did just come here to forage, but I guess it never hurts to refresh our memories a little bit. So I guess I'll just start picking up all this stuff, and then I'll have a whole new supply of gifts to give to people so I can start refriending everybody. And I'm thinking that I'm going to be doing an event path that mainly revolves around Gina, and she's incredibly easy to befriend. But I will pick up everything just in case I need to make a little bit of extra money, or in case I need to befriend anybody else on this particular event path. What else can I tell you guys about New Game Plus that I haven't already gone over? All of the store hours are the same as they were the first time around, and the stores all sell the same things, and you'll also be able to sell your things to them the same as you had the first time around. So largely everything remains the same, the only major difference being that you have to work up all of your friendship levels all over again. And because you are starting in spring, you will be locked out of certain items just because you're not able to forage certain items during certain times of the year. So if I pull up my status screen again too, you can see that all of our belongings are still in our inventory. So the mushrooms that I had picked in fall, the walnuts that I had picked in spring, all those things that aren't available to us at the moment I have access to because I have a few of them left in my rucksack, and that may be handy if there's certain villagers that like items that you can only find in certain seasons. It will definitely give you a little bit of an advantage when it comes to refriending everybody. We have all of the same tools, so any tools that you purchase but they're not totally necessary, such as seeds or animal medicine or bird feed, you'll still have all of those things. You'll still have all of your essential tools, and you'll also have the tools that were given to you by Joe and Kurt, the fishing rod and the flute. So I guess I'll go and check the weather. Spring is a little bit rainier than all the other seasons, so I'm hoping that we're gonna hit a little bit of a dry streak so that I can have the animals outside, because there's probably going to be about a week where it's just going to do nothing but rain. And all the items in my fridge have remained intact, which is just lovely. I have done a little bit of cooking off screen just to practice. As you can see, I have quite a few things. I've got some omelets and some cakes, some jams. I did a little bit of practice so that when it comes to me making some sort of cooking episode, I can talk a little bit about all of the different recipes and whatnot. So I'll probably do all of this inventory management off screen, I do want to be moving all of my belongings from my rucksack into my fridge, just to free up a little bit of space. And if we look at our status screen here, you can see now that our ED box has the story of the Blue Mist and the Azure Swallowtail, which is the storyline that we had finished last time. So as you complete endings and you keep playing through the game, this section will fill up depending on all the different endings that you've done. And we went over all of the friendship levels and whatnot in a couple of videos ago when I was just kind of showing all the view totals, so none of that has changed. Like I said, all of our animals, friendship levels and whatnot have carried over. So at this point, with all of your possessions, your animals, your money, everything like that, it's completely up to you what you want to do. If you hadn't bought the house upgrade or the dog house last playthrough, it's probably a really good chance to do so because you probably will have some leftover money, and that's going to help you gain more money until you can reach those goals. And by playing the game through once, you probably have a really good handle on what the game is going to be like a second time. At this point, I haven't really decided what it is that I'm going to be spending my money on, but I would like to get another cow. I'd like to try the breeding. We have room for a couple of more chickens, and if there's anything else I can think of, I will definitely let you guys know. I'm going to have to play for a couple of days until I can really find something else to talk about. Because it is just the starting of spring, I really have a lot to do to kind of get the game up and going again, so just thought I'd make this quick video talking about the features of New Game Plus. Hopefully you guys will be joining me for the second playthrough of Save the Homeland. Thank you so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.